Just over an hour's drive from Timmins, Ontario, on the shores of Lake Ivanhoe, lies our destination for this week's adventure. We're meeting up with Joel Tero, owner of Air Ivanhoe, to hunt for black bears, get in as much fishing as we can, and whatever else Joel and the Air Ivanhoe crew have in store for us. Here we go. This is Air Ivanhoe.
A few years ago, Wild TV put out a casting call to find new hunting talent from across the country. People who showed enthusiasm, charisma, hunting skills, and the potential to become the host of an all-new TV series. 9 hosts were selected to show off their hunts and tell their stories. Join us as we explore the challenging terrain and amazing wildlife across our beautiful country from coast to coast to coast. This is Canada Hunts. Canada Hunts is brought to you by CJ's Meats, Rossthern, Lancehead Crossbows, Nootka Marine Adventures, Valley Ford Hague, and Wild TV Plus.
We've finally made it to Toronto. We're just on our way to get our last connecting flight to Timmins. Air Ivanhoe, here we come. On this epic adventure, we have a new addition to our crew. Running camera is Merle, Tacklebox Parkin.
Well, we're finally here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check out our suite.
Oh, wow. It's beautiful.
Oh, wow. Look at this.
Look at this place. This is incredible. Here's where we're spending the next week. We made it here. We're just waiting for Joel to come back. He's out flying. He should be back around 1 o'clock, and then we're gonna go out. We're gonna shoot some bows, we're gonna shoot some guns, and make sure everything's sighted in and ready for the bear hunt. And if we get that stuff done ahead of time today, I get a good time, then we're gonna head out and do a little fishing today. So welcome to Air Ivanhoe's adventure. I'm your host, Scott Sterling, and here we go. Air Ivanhoe, when was it started? Your dad started it, right?
My grandparents started.
grandparents
So my grandparents started Terrio Air Services in the early 50s. And basically what happened was that about 1980, my dad and my uncle both wanted to buy the company from my grandparents. And so they split the assets and made them both choose their own name. My dad chose Air Ivanhoe because we were on Ivanhoe Lake. My uncle John chose John Terrio Air. They operated as independent companies for 25 years. My uncle retired. My dad bought the cabins back and put it all back together again. So, I mean, we're running under Air Ivanhoe as a name, but it's really Terrio Air Services started in the early 1950s. So this is about year 70, or just over that, actually.
70 years.
About 70 years.
Crazy.
Yeah, so I'm the 3rd generation. Mateo's the 4th, if he wants it. He's 5 years old. He knows how to fly a plane. He knows how to fish.
Let's get you guys some licenses.
Sounds good. Where you want us to hang up just here?
Yeah, well, we can, I'll meet you guys at the countertop and we'll get some licenses.
Sounds good. So it started 70 years ago, and how many planes did your grandpa run then?
About 25. Airplanes, helicopters, lots of big operation. So my grandpa's operation was actually a lot more massive than what we're doing. He had outpost camps and lodges spread out across northern Canada. So we're running right now with 4 planes, and we're doing about 30 outposts, 2 lodges, 300 boats and motors. You know, seems like a big operation, but it's scaled down compared to where it was at 50 years ago.
So today has been our kind of rest day, get everything ready to go day.
Like I said, this is the one that I just bought, and this is the one that I realized I had.
All right, we got
And
that.
what else do we want? We want a table and we want a chair. That's bam. Okay, we got a table. There's a success story for that. We get a couple more cards to work with.
What do you think, Merle?
I think this is a lot of fun.
Air Ivanhoe is a family affair. Right? So everybody plays a part.
I am the flying, the bear baiting, the moose guiding, the maintenance, basically whatever's too hard for other people to do, I'll do it. Right. And I don't mind doing anything. I'll clean, I'll bag ice, I'll do whatever. But basically it's, who's here, who's available, what can you guys not do on your own, I'll do that.
I can get you guys some direction for where you want to go do some driving around and do some spot and stock. And just see if this guy needs some help. Hey. You good? You need anything?
Oh, ice.
Yeah, come on in. I'll help you real quick. Let's see what this guy needs. It's amazing.
Hey? So how long have you been doing art like this, though?
Oh, I started out about 12 years old. The first thing I carved was Yosemite Sam. Sam,
Yep.
you know the cartoon?
Yep, yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Bill.
Nice to meet you guys.
Real
too.
pleasure to meet you. Thank you.
He don't shake hands, he only wiggles his fingers. That's very dainty.
We're going out to do some shooting with the guns and shooting with the bow to make sure the bow made it good and get comfortable with the guns. If we go do some spot and stock and we can't get close enough with the bow, then we'll look at going and shooting it with a rifle. I kind of had my mind on when he goes to rack the shell.
Oh, yeah.
I'm done. Okay, perfect. We're actually borrowing a couple of Joel's guns for the bear hunt. Merle's gonna harvest his bear with a shotgun, I think. So. Boom! Shakalaka!
Well, I'd say that would take a bear down.
Beautiful day, beautiful place. The lake is amazing. Once we're done shooting, if there's still time, we're gonna actually head out and do some fishing. We're gonna fly into to a different lake than this one, by the sounds of things. So, should be an interesting, fun afternoon.
You ain't not tangled anymore?
So, Mateo, tell us about our fishing trip.
You remember when we were fishing on the floats?
Yeah.
Tell Scott about it. And then tell Scott about how many walleyes you caught.
I can't. I think 6.
I think you might have caught more. Let's just say lots.
10.
10. All right, we'll go with 10.
Okay, we got him. We got him.
Good job, Mateo. You don't get action like this every day, that's for sure. And this is amazing scenery. Fishing off a float of a float plane, which I've never done. And we are slamming the walleye, the pike. Got a couple of smallmouth bass too, so amazing little fishery that we're in right here today. All right, another beautiful walleye. And you're going home, buddy. What do you got on this time, Merle?
My money's on walleye.
I don't think he's ready to come in yet. Look at that.
Cute.
Bad boy.
Tell me, why do you like walleye fishing?
These walleyes are so good.
Walleyes are so good, and that's why you like walleye fishing?
I always want to fish.
You always like to fish, and then Papa has to clean the walleyes, and you like to eat them?
Did you like the supper your dad made last night? Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
You always eat those French fries, don't you?
They're more better than fish.
The French fries are better than fish?
Because there's salt.
What? I don't know about that.
There's salt in it.
There's salt on it. Oh, I see. You like the salt.
So tomorrow morning we're gonna go flying, and we're gonna check out a couple of camps and get ready for the start of bear hunt. Bear season opens tomorrow in Ontario, August the 15th.
Why don't you tell me about your experience flying the airplane?
If I had a piece of coal put somewhere, it probably would have been a diamond when I first got my hands on the wheel. It was a little nerve-wracking. I wasn't quite sure what to do with the pedals and the steering, but once you explained it to me and I started to do it, it wasn't overly hard, which was good. And it was awesome. It's something I've always wanted to do.
Well, that plane's got dual controls.
Yes.
As a training plane. You know, so we spent a lot of money to put the dual controls in that plane. We've got another plane as well. Actually, 3 of the 4 planes we're running have dual controls so that the guests can play with it, as well as so that I can work with the other pilots. But yeah, once you get it figured out, it's not overly complicated.
It scared the crap out of me the first time the pedals started to move on their own. I had forgotten you had them over there. And I got my feet on them and I'm going, dude, all of a sudden, what's going on? I thought I did something wrong or I pressed something that was making the pedals move.
No, you did good. You did good. I see a lot of guys, you know, when I say, you want to do this? They put the death grip on there like they're holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
So how was that, flying the plane?
Awesome, but kind of freaky. I have never actually flown a plane in my entire life, but I've always wanted to. And
Never flown a plane?
no. And I've been in these Beavers many, many times and never done it. So that was like
Too hot or too blue?
that was like bucket list. That was awesome. Thanks, Joel. I think I just figured something out. Well, Joel was mentioning last night, what did he say? Lots of his staff is off, they're on holidays, all that kind of thing, right?
Brought him up for a work trip, not a bear hunt.
So yeah, they brought us up to work, and we get to hunt and fish. That's a good deal anyways.
Seems reasonable.
We're operating on sites that my grandparents handpicked in the early 1950s. And most of these cabins have been, you know, rebuilt completely, you know, since that time. But same sites. A lot of the boats are from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. A lot of these aluminum boats will last decades as long as they get some proper care to them. But new motors consistently, you know, get about 40 new motors a year on average.
Headed out for a bear hunt.
Yeah. We're running a little heavy here. So we've got me, I'm hunting with a bow, and Merle's hunting with a gun or a shotgun, rifle, shotgun, we're not sure. We'll probably just go into stand with just one firearm, probably just gonna be the rifle. We're super close to our first night in stand. Can't wait, and we'll see what comes in. All right, here we go. We're in the square body spaceship superstar.
Typically, when we bait bears in the spring, we'll start off with stinky meat. Get the baits going, grease, popcorn, oats, whatever we decide to throw at them at the time. What we found over the years is that the bears don't like the stinky meat once that bait is actually started, right? What I find works the best for us is popcorn, cooked in restaurant grease, and beavers.
We got the good, we got the bad, we got the stink, we got it all. Let's rock and roll. Well, I think we should jump ship. And I think it's been, if nothing knocked us over in the last 2.5 days, I don't think we should hunt it.
I agree.
Keep going. And we'll go drive through a couple of the other bait sites and we'll find one that was hit.
Made it to our first bait site, and it's not hit. Hasn't been hit for 2.5 days. So the bears have obviously moved on somewhere. If I recall, there's some clear cuts around here with a lot of berries and stuff.
There's some clear cuts that are really close to here, full of blueberries. And so we're gonna go check those clear cuts right now and see if we can find them right in the middle of the cuts real quick. And that might be more beneficial for the evening. So let's have a look at that.
Perfect. Today's kind of an interesting day. We're actually on our own. In Ontario, you don't actually have to be with your guide. You can go out and hunt in the bear management areas by yourselves and do whatever you need to do. This morning, what the plan is for today is we're actually going to go and check all the baits that are out and around in this area. And if none of the baits are hit, then what we're going to do is we're going to go and sit over top of a lake on a couple of clear cuts. We've got our plan put together for tonight. We're actually going to sit Jameson 1 stand tonight. It got hit yesterday at some point, so we're going to come back around 4:30 and jump into stand, and we're going to sit this one out for the night. It's down, there's a nice little creek along here, and a bunch of berry patches on the other side, so got a pretty good chance of running into something here. We just got to throw an extra strap on the tree stand and a bull rope so we can pull everything up when we get in. So we're down to the last day of our trip with Air Ivanhoe, and we're gonna go and sit the hills here for a few hours. And there's a lake there, and there's 2 big cut blocks with raspberries and blueberries. So we're hoping to find a bear coming across those today to harvest. We're gonna kind of split up a little bit and have the radios with us. And if Merle sees something or if I see something, we'll converge again back together and figure out a plan on how to take it. So we've been up glassing the hills here for the last 45 minutes, and we're not seeing any movement down at the bottom in the flats or over by the lake at all.
Raging blueberries.
And is that what we were competing with?
Absolutely.
For this?
You know, you might get 2 years in a row where the weather conditions are exactly perfect for blueberries to be like crazy. But basically what the blueberry crops need to really develop is they need some consistent moisture through June and July, and then they need some real heavy moisture once a week in July, which is exactly what we had this year. And you walk into these cutover areas, and the blueberries look almost as big as what you would find in a grocery store.
Well,
and they're just everywhere.
Then they're delicious.
And they're delicious.
I don't blame the bears.
And what happens is that basically the blueberries ripen up at exactly the same time as the bear hunt. It starts August 15th, and that's right about when the blueberries ripen up. I mean, you can be baiting and you can be thinking that everything's gonna be fine, and then the bears, they just make a transition and they are less interested in the bait sites. So what we try to do to deal with that in the fall hunts is we try to set our bait sites relatively close to blueberry patches. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's always the challenge between behind a fall bear hunt is anticipating in February how much rain are we gonna get in July. And it's amazing, these big heavy animals, middle of the day, they're out there, they're feeding on the blueberries, but you still need a little bit of luck.
But we have a really good feeling about the stand. We've been checking the game cameras a lot. This one's been hit pretty regularly. Finally, this morning we checked. It had a nice big bear on the camera. So we decided, with no shots on any of the other cameras, let's sit this one, until we see a bear, hopefully. And then, we don't get one tonight. It is what it is. That's why they call it hunt.
We've come to the end of our trip with Air Ivanhoe. Thank you guys for having us. It was an incredible time. We got to fish off the float, off a plane. We got to fly all over the place. We got to see all the beautiful cabins. We got to ride around in Cheryl. She got us here. She got us all around. She'll get us home. But we tried and tried and tried, but it just wasn't in the cards to get a bear, unfortunately. So hopefully they'll invite us back again and we'll get them next time. But as it sits, it's in the books. Thanks, Air Ivanhoe.
Canada Hunts is brought to you by CJ's Meats, Rossthern, Lancehead Crossbows, Nootka Marine Adventures, Valley Ford Hague, and Wild TV Plus.